Hello there and welcome. Today I'm looking at a verse or two in Isaiah 48. It's actually just verse 17. A very beautiful verse. I do hope you're well this morning and being blessed. There's so much riches in the Old Testament and hidden verses in the prophets. If you've never read the prophets, perhaps you've never read right the way through Isaiah. Some of it is a bit heavy, prophecies of doom and gloom, but there are some wonderful hidden gems, treasures in Isaiah. Isaiah 48 verse 17. Thus says the Lord, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, I am the Lord your God, who teaches you to profit, who leads you in the way you should go. There's so much in this verse, isn't there? Thus says the Lord, your Redeemer. We are so privileged that we have a relationship with the Lord of all things, the Creator of all things. Thus says the Lord. We serve a God who speaks. We serve a God who communicates. We serve a God who is proactive. He hasn't just created this world and left it to go on its merry way without him. He sustains this world. He is intimately involved in this world. And he speaks. He speaks in so many different ways. He speaks through our conscience. He speaks through events that happen in our lives. He speaks through what other people say to us. He speaks through living parables around us that tell us, remind us of his eternal truths. He speaks through his word. He speaks through Jesus. He speaks. And what is our responsibility? To listen. To listen. You know, it's very easy. We're not really ever taught listening skills. You know, you can test that out just by doing the old party game of Chinese whispers. Someone going out of the room and being told something and being asked to tell the next person. And by the time you get through about 6 or 7 people, half of the message is lost or distorted. We don't listen very well. We need to listen. Thus says the Lord, your Redeemer. If the Old Testament Isaiah could speak of God as the Redeemer, how much more can we speak of God as our Redeemer? Because we know what Jesus came to do and what he did. God redeemed Israel, the children of Israel, the family of Jacob, Israel. He redeemed them. He brought them out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And they always celebrated what he'd done for them. He was their Redeemer. He was the God who'd stepped in and rescued them from the hands of the enemy. The Holy One of Israel. Always remember that God is holy, and his call on our lives is to holiness. It's not to self-indulgence. It's not to live our lives any way we want to, any way we feel we'd like to do it. Our modern world is all about feelings and all egocentric, all about each person being the centre of their world, and whatever they want should be respected. Whatever they desire, whatever way they choose to live their life, we should just tolerate it and nod to it and agree with it. But the scriptures isn't like that. God is holy, and he calls the people who follow him to be holy. And holiness is costly. Holiness is denying yourself. Jesus said, those who would deny me need to take up their cross and follow me. It's not an easy road. He said there's a narrow road and there's a wide road. The wide road leads to destruction when you do whatever you please. and you don't think about what God thinks about what you're doing. And the narrow road is hard to negotiate, and it's hard to stay along it. I know that from experience here in the west, in the rural countryside of England. Some of the roads here are very narrow. They are very narrow. They have passing places which you can squeeze into with your car to let another car past, or perhaps you have to reverse to a wider bit of road to let another car go past. Narrow roads are difficult. Narrow paths are difficult. And they get overgrown, and God didn't call us to an easy Sunday morning or half an hour a day devotional. He called us to holiness. He called us to follow him, to deny our own wishes, and to do what he asks us to do. It's not an easy road. It's something to really, every day, choose the narrow way, to choose to follow the Holy One of Israel. And what did God say, as Isaiah writes it here? I am the Lord, your God, who teaches you to profit. He wants you to do well in your life. He wants your life to prosper. He wants your life to be full of fruit for the kingdom. And he is the one who teaches you how to do that. So you need to be teachable. You need not to be stubborn. You need to be teachable. You need to be willing each day to say, Lord, show me your ways. Teach me your ways. Show me how to please you. Teach me. He teaches you to profit, who leads you in the way you should go. He knows what's best for you. He knows the lifestyle. He knows the future for you. He knows the way that you should follow, the way that you should go. He leads you. He leads you. He goes ahead of you, preparing the way for you. And all you have to do is follow him. It sounds so simple, and this is a beautiful verse to meditate on today. Isaiah 48:17. Thus says the Lord, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am the Lord, your God, who teaches you to profit, who leads you in the way you should go. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye.